the all-time wins record in WNBA history. 2 from tying Mike Tebow, 3 from becoming the all-time record holder. Off the tip, it is Washington Mystics basketball. Citron, get it inside. A mismatch with Shakira Austin somehow matched up with Olivia Miles, and they don't score, Leah.
And this is what you're going to see the Mystics trying to take advantage of in this game is that post play. They have a height advantage down low, and they can't take advantage of it on their first possession.
Minnesota's first possession of this ball game. Courtney Williams sizing up Amor. This is an improving defensive team in Washington, but Williams will sink the first 3 she sees.
Feeling comfortable once again, Courtney Williams with a strong start here at Target Center.
Courtney Williams has been shooting lights out career highs across the board this season as the Mystics turn it over. 17 points per game on 50% shooting. On the other sideline is Sydney Johnson in his 2nd season as the head coach of the Mystics. Coach Reeve, even from when these teams met in the preseason, Leah, really complimentary of the identity of this team, protecting, scoring in the paint, and getting to the free throw line.
This is an exciting Mystics team to watch. They're playing their best basketball of the season right now. They have back-to-back wins. They've been playing well, sharing the ball. So is Kayla McBride as she knocks down that shot. But this is the youngest team in the WNBA and a team that is still having growing pains, but has showed that they know how to close out some games.
Only 2 players who are not either in their rookie or sophomore seasons. The most senior-led member of this team, Michaela Onyenwere, in her 6th season in the WNBA. Here she drives. Miles knocks it free with 4.6 seconds to go. It's going to stay here. Take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by LutherAuto.com.
For the Lynx, they really want to win those second chance battles. You have big players like Irfan, Betts, and Austin who are all going to be battling for those boards. And then also you want to make this Mystics team into a jump shooting team. They want to live in the paint, so take away the rim and the layups and you take away a big part of their offense.
Olivia Miles looked wide open. Can't knock it down that time. Rebound secured by Natasha Howard. Who else for one of the best rebounding teams in the W? And it leads to another triple. That time Nia Coffey, who's always setting the tone for the Lynx.
And this is what she's been doing all season long here in Minnesota, as Minnesota's ball movement has been spectacular.
Georgia Amor on the reverse, building her confidence. She scored in double figures in back-to-back games for the first time this season. 6 of 14 shooting combined. Here is Howard, no good from 3-point range. And it's going to be Washington basketball. Howard this season 1 for 5 shooting from beyond the arc.
And Nia Coffey just has really done a nice job benefiting from the Minnesota Lynx offense. You know, the way that they're moving the ball, they're sharing the ball, and she's been able to find that catch-and-shoot looks in this offense here in Minnesota.
Citron takes a little bit of a bump and then hits the fadeaway. She's so dynamic as a scorer. The whistle is going to go on the Minnesota Lynx. An illegal screen on Natasha Howard.
Sonia Citron, as you were saying, Sloan is a special player, and it's been fun to watch kind of her evolution of her game, but I like her efficiency in the way that she plays. She just gets things done, can score at all 3 levels.
Irfan to take it out. Amor missed all of last season after tearing her ACL in training camp. Now shouldering the load of being a rookie point guard, something most Lynx fans quite familiar with. As Irfan working from the perimeter, now 10 to shoot for the Mystics. Citron will take it and splash it home.
And that's the biggest threat that they have from outside, so Minnesota's going to want to lock down Citron early from that 3-point line because she is a threat from out there.
This is a Washington team that does not rely on the 3-point game. They're last in the W in 3-point attempts per game as Austin sends that into her team's bench.
And this is what a healthy Austin looks like. She has been really good this season in her ability to block shots, but here's her looking at the defense, reading it, and then Citron knocking down the 3-point shot. So some great movement, but then the defensive intensity and the block shot.
Minnesota is going to turn it over here to Washington. And Minnesota had trouble getting it in, just tight space around that inbound.
It's going to be an interesting game for both teams as it comes late for the Mystics in a road trip for them as they're kind of wrapping up a road trip. Minnesota, as Coach Reed talked earlier about this possibly being a trap game.
Goes off the backboard, and Minnesota will take back over. Courtney Williams thought about it in rhythm. Now Miles against her former teammate in Cintron is able to sling herself to the rim for two.
Nice read of the defense right there, able to stretch out and get that one-handed layup.
Those two have a lot of history together in South Bend as Austin will launch from three, and Minnesota again keeps them off the glass, one and done here in the first quarter. Miles reading the defense off the switch. McBride, a great look from deep, not that time. McBride a couple games removed from moving into fifth all-time in WNBA history career threes. It's been incredibly steady and consistent this last stretch of games, including defensively, and that's going to be a whistle as she tried to pull. So is Natasha Howard leading the fast break for the Lynx, the step through and the finish.
Natasha Howard just having an incredible year here for Minnesota, but I love that it's the defense that gets everybody rolling, and then she goes ahead and lays it in on the other side.
Minnesota first in the WNBA, or the second in steals per game. They also get a ton of blocks thanks to Nia Coffey, top 10 in the W. McBride, quick trigger, just falls off the front of the rim, and the rebound cleared by Iriafet. Cody McMahon new into the game. Another rookie on this team. We have top six picks the last two WNBA drafts. Here's McMahon for three. She's got it.
And that's going to be really important for McMahon to be able to knock down those shots from out there. As you can see, the double teams are coming inside Minnesota, playing aggressively to protect the paint.
That was not always a consistent part of her game at Ohio State and in Oxford. Beautiful drop off, Miles to Howard, working to perfection.
And the Mystics are going to have to figure out how to slow down Howard getting into the lane. She's had 2 straight line drives now.
14-10 is Minnesota's early lead over the Washington. They work through Iriafet. Really enjoying a greater result with a face-up game this season, and that time she's fouled.
And you love that matchup with Iriafet and Nia Coffey. Early, just that great balance that Minnesota brings.
Minnesota leads the W in that category, points off turnovers. And first free throw good for Iriafet. This Washington team 7-7 this season. They've won 3 of their last 4, but those 3 wins by a combined 11 points total against Toronto, Connecticut, and New York. And head coach Cheryl Reeves said before the game, sometimes when you have a team that has so much youth, you just kind of move on. You don't have that long-term memory of those kinds of games.
Yeah, I like the way that they played. I watched that New York game, and it was, they believed that they could win, and right down to the last second, and that's the sign of maturity from this young group.
Lucy Olsen fires a pass inside, and Iriafet easily takes care of it.
Yeah, getting that positioning down low, taking up space is one of the things that they're going to do to continue to score in the paint.
Miles weaving, reversing is not there. Howard with the offensive rebound. She has dominated the offensive glass. Look at that pass. It's not going to lead to a 3 by Coffey, but a third chance opportunity for the Minnesota Lynx as Miles takes up and extends for 2.
Talked about it at the top of the show. Second chance opportunity is going to be key here for Minnesota. They do a great job of giving themselves 2 and 3 chances to get the nice lay-in by Miles.
Lauren Betts, number 4 overall pick in the 2026 draft. The NCAA champion. Maybe that comes later in her career. There's McMahon. Under 5 seconds to shoot. Iriafet is going to have that waved off. Got tangled up there with Nia Coffey.
And after some good offensive rebounding, Olivia Miles does her work with her outstretched one-handed lay-in. And there's some battle down low. This is going to be a good game for that woman right there and Nia Coffey. They're going to need her a lot because of her strength and her ability to battle down low.
Courtney Williams, the mid-range on target.
where she is the most comfortable, and she's so grateful that her coaches let her take that shot. She's like, that's what I do, and I'm so thankful that they're allowing me to do it.
Coach Ruth says, I'm well aware that it's not the analytically correct thing to do, but when you have someone who can hit the shots like Courtney does, you give her free reign. This Lucy Olsen, meanwhile, on the other side, has seen her minutes tick up in recent games for the Mystics.
Lucy Olsen comes in and makes an impact right away.
Pick and roll doesn't go to Minnesota's plan. McBride and Howard on the hookup. And now 2:30 to go in this first quarter. A closely contested one. The lob inside to Betts. Broken up, stolen by Howard. Minnesota with numbers on this side. Courtney drains it again from the mid-range.
Yeah, you can't play drop coverage on Courtney Williams right now. She's been too hot from that point on the court. You have to stay right in her jersey.
Sydney Johnson said, talking about the Minnesota Lynx, they don't get enough credit for how great they are in the offensive glass, but also they just knock down shots everywhere on the floor, and that's what you have to contend with facing the Minnesota Lynx.
The shooting percentage has been ridiculously high this year for Minnesota, and it's everybody. That starting five, all of them can score.
Maya Caldwell tries to extend, has that taken away by Sonia Citron. A young player takes a lot of pride in her defense. Still trying to look inside, this time to Angela Dugalich, who's new into the game. Yet another rookie on this squad. She will sneak by Olokosu along the baseline. Tierra McCowan, after not playing the last game against Golden State, is heading to the scorer's table early.
Dugalich, that was an incredible move inside. That was really nice finesse right around the basket.
She's a really versatile player at UCLA. Also an NCAA champion with Betts as McBride will reroute her drop. 4 seconds to shoot for the Lynx. That's knocked away now, 2.7 on the clock.
I've told you, Sloan, I've become a big fan of the UCLA coach, and now I like to watch her Instagram to see all the things that she, I mean, what an incredible coach she is, and it has really been a pleasure to watch her and her players and the impact they've had on the WNBA.
Corey Close has so much wisdom, and we're so lucky that she shares it with us for her extensive coaching experience. She's also a disciple of John Wooden as well, carrying on that legacy. And you can see it in the success of her players in the W this season. Williams slices her way through, drops it off, the unselfish play, working for Minnesota per usual.
The defense has to collapse onto Courtney Williams because she's so good in the mid-range, which allows her to dump it off right to her teammate.
Austin tries to spin against McCowan. That's great size against great size, and there's a whistle. That will go on McCowan.
Shakira Austin is a player who's really going to want to get rolling here in this one because she could make a big impact. Here's some pick and roll action right now from Minnesota, and it is fun to watch. It's anybody and Howard, like whoever she's in that pick and roll with, it's so fun to see because she's shooting such a high percentage at the rim right now.
Lynx fans, today only one All-Star vote counts as two. So cast your votes for Natasha Howard, Courtney Williams, Kayla McBride, and Olivia Miles right now at lynxbasketball.com/all-star. Of course, coaching selections for reserves, media voting also going to play a role, but we know Minnesota needs multiple representatives, certainly all four, making great cases as the best team in the WNBA playing without an MVP candidate leading the way. 10 seconds to shoot for Delar. Miles, the hesitation, step back, nearly a ridiculous mid-range, but it just doesn't fall. Minnesota shooting 48% from the floor in this first quarter. A 2-second differential shot here. Working it through Citron. Second in Rookie of the Year voting last season. A great look from straight on, and she can't take advantage. That rims out. Offensive glass work by Onyenwere. That is on the first.